hand, which is your writing hand, and make an infinity sign, like a sleeping 8. Perfect. You know how essential agreements are created or rules are created for the classroom? So I would please request you, switch on your cameras, because it always makes a little happier world when we can see each other smiling and reacting to things. And thank you so much for doing that. Okay, now the other hand. Now try it with both hands. Slow. Imagine you are a concert musician and you're trying it with both hands. And if you notice, I'm trying to make my 8s meeting in and going out. Meeting in and going out. So to make it easier, try it with the other hand first, the non-writing hand. Try this. Now try doing it together. It seems tricky, but if you can, your right and your left brain will be working together. Can you imagine the creativity and the decision making together? All right, now is the trick. So the challenge goes, can you write your name in air? Perfect. Now try it with the non-writing hand. Start from the middle and go out. Now the trickiest of them all. Try starting from the center and imagine you have a mirror right there. So you need to start from right in the middle and write your name flowing out. Whoa, I can see Pratibha doing it really gorgeous. Great work there, Pratibha. Isat, you did a good job too. So you guys, and a lot of you are almost there. So perfect for that. So on that note, I'm going to ask you one very important question. So here it goes. All right, according to me, gratitude and happiness makes personalities which are worth following. Worth following by whom? By you, yourself. You'd love yourself more? Yes, you would. People around you would love you? Of course, a lot more. And that acknowledgement brings about inner happiness even further. So my question to you is, now this will have to be quick. So keep your chats ready. And I'm hoping, as all teachers do, that you have pens and papers in some part where you can grab them. Because soon we're going to be having pen and paper stuff. And I am also curious to know what you learned. Okay, so my first question to you is, what is your why? So what does that mean? That means, why do you do what you do? Why are you doing all the things in a classroom, as a parent, as a person? What is your why? Your reason for being there every Monday morning at school. Your reason for working round the clock on a Saturday, Sunday for perhaps making lesson plans or making that perfect workbook. What is your why? Why do you do it? I know what you do, but why do you do it? Okay, so why do you work so hard? Okay, yes, Lena, please go ahead. Okay, Ms. Shafali, yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hi to everyone. A very beautiful afternoon. What I do is for my mental satisfaction and for my inner happiness, because that makes me feel complete.
Okay, okay. So that brings me to another question. Let's not go for the first one first, but my question is, if money and time were no object, they were not the reason why you had your why, what would you be doing? If every job in the world was paid just the same, exactly the same, what would you do? You see, on an average, we are teachers for about 30 odd years, some may up to 40, and some even after they retire, they continue. And so that makes it a 50 plus years of your life, 8 to 12 hours every single day. So if money and time was not an object, they were not the reason why would you and what would you still do? Oh, I love what I do. I like my work. Self-satisfaction. Teaching kids gives me satisfaction. Teaching. Okay. So when teaching is a passion, India will go far. How interesting. Oh, you're a workaholic. Thank you so much. I give you a high five for that. I'm usually known as one. All right. So kids give you joy. Interesting. How much of fun. Now, I'm sure, like all people, we also look for that final acknowledgement from the boss. What is that one sentence you'd like to hear from your boss? Maybe your coordinator, maybe the principal, maybe your school director. What is that one sentence you'd like to hear from your boss? And you'd say, that's it. That makes my day. Yes, Amit, please go ahead. Amit Jain. You did a fantastic job. Keep it up. Keep growing. Appreciation. Huh? Excellent teacher. Wonderful job. Appreciation. Acknowledgement for my work. Wow, wonderful work. She makes a difference in the lives. You can do better. Great work. Superb. Acknowledging my work. Keep it up. Okay. So, Amit Jain. Ms. Shafali, can we give Amit Jain an option out, please?
Sorry?
Amit Jain has raised his hand. Do we think we could give him a chance to speak up, please?
Sure. So Divyang, if you can unmute him, please. We can take it up in the end, Aarti. I think he's not able to unmute.
He can unmute himself now. No, not a problem.
So what's your one sentence that you would like to hear from your boss? Amit, are you there? All right. On that note, we're going to get back to you, Amit. Now, the next one. Within every teacher is always the naughtiest of children. I mean, in staff rooms, we hear all the badmashis you guys have done when you were kids. What is that best prank you've ever played on someone? Now, let's be honest. Kind pranks are different from nasty pranks. So over here, just be wicked and go ahead and let us know what is that prank that you enjoyed playing. Repeating the spelling in the teacher's accent. Oh God, yes. I think we all are very, very guilty of that one. Thank you, Amrita, for being that honest. Faking about a principal's calls. Oh, Baba. Imitating teachers. None I wish I had done. It's so true, Nafisa. It's nicer to be the naughtier one. Imitating our favorites. Yeah. I mean, Teachers' Day was, I think, one of those times when imitating our students in the staff room. Woo, Smita, you go, girl. None. But you know what? There is a time, I think humor is one of the nicest things that we can use in the world. But do we laugh with them or do we laugh at them? That's a question I've always considered and thought about. None? Okay, so we shall go ahead. All right. So the strategies that I shall be covering today. In my control and out of my control, I hope you have your pencils and your papers there. Circle time questions, I've given you a few already. There is something called the vision board. Then the recharge with gratitude. Gratitude is one of my favorites. Humor, a few tricks I shall teach you. Then mindfulness, the glitter jar. Now the challenge for the day. Whatever you learn today in the webinar, if you have created it on paper, Ms. Shafali would share a Padlet by the end of the webinar, and you'd receive a 20 minutes, your time, completely your time with me to ask me any questions that you really want to solve. Perhaps as a parent, perhaps as a teacher, perhaps, well, to impress the boss. I don't know, whatever your concern may be. Okay, so on that note, I hope you have your papers and your pencils ready because we're going to be choosing winner. Now, this is something that I need you to reflect on. Does your happiness depend on other people? Does it depend on things? Does it depend on your own wisdom? Now, what does that say? Is it music? Is it a mail from somebody? Is it just drinking a nice cup of coffee? Is it a birthday party? Is it a nice book? Maybe a dessert? Maybe just me time, space time, my time. What is it that you think happiness depends on? Whoa, the way you guys chat, imagine if your students did the same. I wonder how our lessons would continue. Okay. So I've got brilliant thoughts that are coming in. Music and books and baking. Oh yeah, I love baking too. Family time, your own wisdom. Interesting. Me time, my time. A lot of, art, of course. Wow. So here it goes. So are we ready? So our first task is in my control, out of my control. Raise your hand, put it down on paper, and create an outline of that hand on paper. Now is the set of things that I would ask you to do. Inside the hand, write down in my control. And outside the hand, write down out of my control. I would ask you a few questions. You need to decide which one would you put in my control and out of my control. Okay. So when I say in my control, that means in your control, like in Ms. Shafali's control, in Ms. Lina's control, in Mr. Amit's control. It's your control. Okay. So your words, what you speak, is it in your control, out of your control? Now remember, we are choosing winners. So for that account, be creative. Guys, you are teachers. Use a huge amount of creativity in what you draw. So what I speak, my words, What about the tone of my voice? What about the non-verbal cues like this? Oh, what about all of those? When we don't speak a word, but our expression speaks it all. Is that in your control? What about what your student does in a class? Is that in your control? What about what your student feels? Is that in your control? What about what your children feel, your own, or your spouse, or your special other, or your closest friend, or your colleague? What they feel, is that in your control? What about the weather outside? Is that in your control? What about the COVID situation all over the world? Is that in your control? What about the curtains in your home? Is that in your control? What about the food that you make at home? Is that in your control? What your family members react to that food? Is that in your control? Is baking in your control? Is the outcome of that baking in your control? Is saying a thank you to people who touched you, is that in your control? Is writing a short note to that person who you are grateful for, is that in your control? Is giving a big hug in your control? What about managing your children's lives? Is that in your control? And if a colleague, we've always had that perfect colleague, that one who's a hot favorite. He or she being the hot favorite, is that in your control? Your reaction to them being the hot favorite, is that in your control? So let's look at things that I can control. My words, my actions, my ideas, my play, my effort, my mistakes, and my behavior. These are in my control. Other people's ideas? Feelings? Other people's mistakes? Even your own children's? Even your own classroom children? Other people's actions, words, what other people play. And I'm saying mind games too, all right? What mind games they are playing, even that, and their behavior. But the view of the world, your perspective, your mindset, that's in your control. Which mail you get, that's not in your control. So now imagine, okay? So there goes strategy 2. Imagine you have to give a gift to everyone you know today. Maybe in your classroom, maybe all the parents that are in touch with you, maybe your own family members. One gift, identical gift, you want to give them. And that is the news, the headlines of a paper. What would that gift be? What headlines would you want? Put it down in bold. That's the headline I want. So if you have a headline, then you may say, Shefali dash the kindest. What would it be? What would that gift be? Or the warmest hugs, or ideas which are measured and thought about. What would that gift be? Make your headline. You see, all of us have a lot of kindness and warmth in our hearts. We sometimes tend to forget it because it's so much things happening around in our world that the priority changes from who we are to what we are supposed to do. So just put that. What would you be wanting to be remembered as? Imagine you are the center page headline. You got your beautiful picture on. And what are you doing? Trustworthy. Oh my, that's a beautiful word. Kind and loving words. Source of information. How interesting. I want you all to be happy always. You know, Anu, there is a thought between happiness and joy. Happiness stays at the moment. Joy is a feeling that continues. So, maybe. Okay. Now I want you to hold your hands up, rub your hands, close your eyes, because I'm going to take you on a journey. I want you to keep your eyes closed and just hear my words. I want you to think of one person who's always brought a smile on your face. Just visualize that person, please. That person, when you are in your worst of states, is there for you, regardless of how busy he or she is. They are there. They drop everything and they are for you, always for you. One phone call away, 2 rings, and they pick up the call. That person. Now is the tricky part. So rub your hands, cover your eyes, and slowly bring them down. Pick up your pencils or your pens. And in the next 2 minutes, you need to write down 5 sentences about that person. And your time starts now. Who is that person? Why does that person bring about a smile to your face? Write down 2 or 3 examples. And have you ever acknowledged it? And if yes, then how? Those are your 5 sentences. So I'll repeat. Name the person and the relationship you may have with that person. What have they done to be this person who you reach out to? Give 2 examples. The last part, have you acknowledged it? And if you have, how? Okay, so guys, when you are ready and you've written those 5 sentences, then is this time to do something. I hope you are going to be open to do this, because you'll have to, if you are unmuted, then mute yourself, and you have to phone this person right now. You have to phone this person right now and read these 5 sentences to this person. Your time starts now. You need to phone up this person right now and speak these 5 sentences. Oh, you could always say, we are having a happiness webinar, and you might find it strange, but I really, really, really need you to hear this. So how many of you could phone up? Just raise hands, please. I'd love to see the screen all lighted up. I'm going to stop share because I need to see that. Woo! My God, you guys. All right, I am going to be wanting to hear two of you to speak up what was their reaction and what was yours. All right, so I'm going to be doing it randomly. Saloni, I'm going to choose you because you have one of the biggest smiles. So go ahead, Saloni. Can you unmute, Saloni?
Okay, I can unmute myself. Good afternoon to all of you. So I called him up, but he couldn't get my call because he's off to the far lands. But I left him a voice note, and I'm sure he would be very, very happy to hear it. I told him that I see him, I appreciate all his efforts.
Beautiful. That is wonderful. Okay, the second person who is going to be speaking up is Tina. Tina NEP. Go ahead, please, Tina.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I called my dad. I know it's his sleeping time, so he must be sleeping right now. But yes, I'll call him back again. He's my pillar of strength, and he's always there for me, just a call away, as you said. Whenever I'm in need, he's always there. And then I wanted to thank him today. Thank him. Actually, you made us realize. I wanted to say thank you to him. Thank you for always being there for me. And yes, I love you, Dad. This is all what I'm going to say him when I'm going to call him back in the evening. Thank you.
Beautiful. Did anyone be able to speak to the person next? So just raise those hands, please, guys, because I need one more, because I need to know how you felt and how that person felt. Yes, Lena, I'll go with you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi once again. And yes, he's right next to me. So I have just said hi to him that I'm in a happiness, webinar here. He's always right next to me and my pillar of strength. And he's always at the back, pushing us all forward. And, I can always depend on him because he has a wonderful, gorgeous, and a very, very compassionate nature.
Okay,
and
so
I always
hear from your special other. How did he feel about it? So please come on.
Oh, he's smiling. He's smiling. He says, "Is it true, really?"
I know. Sometimes we all need to give that acknowledgement which you are waiting for. Like you said, that one line that you would be so happy with if you got it from your boss. What about you passing on the same happiness and kindness to someone who means so much to you? Okay, so I'm going to go back to my conversations. And on that note, I just want to ask you, has anybody ever heard about something called the vision board? Okay, so let me just explain you what this is. You may always take a picture of it, but you have your paper and pen and try putting in. Now, the best thing to do, obviously, is to make a collage, which could be on your phone, on your as your wallpaper, as your saver, on your laptop. It could always be something that you pick up and have a board in front of your study area or work area. So you can have that, of course. So these are basically pictures that you aspire or dream of. It's a vision board. It's a vision that you want your life to be. How would you want your health to be? So supposing you want your health to be like you need to have high immunity. So it's just a goal setting with the end product. So your goal setting, supposing you want to be healthier or fitter or higher immunity, maybe that's one. Maybe you want extra money. Maybe you're happy with the money that you have, whatever. What's the kind of energy that you would want in there? Where do you really want to travel? How would you want your home to be? How should it look like? Grateful part, we've already done that. Your relationships with your special other, with your closest friend, with the kids in your class, with parents, if you're married, in-laws, How do you want it? Where do you want your career to go? This is a vision board. It's a dream board. It's a board where you want to reach. How? And the hows come in obviously when we set the goals. So this is the end product. This is your goal setting. How will you achieve it? The moment you have it right in front of you, it's a visual reminder for each one of you to say, this is where I want to be. On another note, remember, you are creating our beautiful caricatures, doodling, and all that you are taking from this webinar, because one lucky winner, or maybe if it is a tie, then maybe more, who get a one-on-one to ask the questions you really wish to ask. So there is a huge amount of chats which start piling in. Okay, Arishi, hi, I'm glad you want to contribute food and clothes, but we all are needy, aren't we? Some are needy for love, some for kindness, some for material gains. So we all are needy. And I always feel that contributing is a sweeter word, because here we are being more kind, aren't we? Okay, on that note, I wonder what your vision boards are going to be looking like. You know, it's a brilliant tactic to try this out in a classroom setting. It's a brilliant option out to have children at home also create their own vision board of where they would like themselves to. You know, when you have a visual reminder, maybe on the study area, maybe on the fridge, maybe in a part of a poster, it supports the children to have more fun. Because in my vision board, I've also added in the leisure times, the free spaces. Like I asked you, the me time, how would you want it? So that's my only addition in all of this, where I have added the me time. What do I do with my free space? Okay, now I'm going to give you some research data which has troubled me and is the reason, and this is my reason why I am who I am. So I am basically a psychologist. I work as a school counselor at Pathways. I am also working at DU for teaching psychology, and I work in a hospital setup. And why do I work in a school? Because I love the way children can react and respond immediately. I just love that part. I love those hugs. And the biggest reason why is that 1 in 10 children have a mental health disorder. Unfortunately, in our present times, this 1 has creeped up to a nasty 3. So the worldwide research for the COVID that has been continuing has resulted in 3 children. Half of all mental ill health manifests by the age of 14. It starts by about 8-ish, 7-ish. And by 14, it's a full-fledged mental disorder. 75% by the age of 18. So those are the crucial years. The personality of a child is done by 13 and 14. So what you want to do with your child? Imagine you really are the foundation teachers. You are the people who will create the personalities of these children for the rest of their lives. By 13 or 14, they are who they are going to be as grown-ups and as adults. It doesn't change. You can sandpaper a little bit, but that's how it is. And on that note, I want you to close your eyes one last time, please. Close your eyes and think about the teacher who said the best compliment to you, the warmest compliment, and made you the person who you are. Put that in the chat, please. Open your eyes, come back to the room that you are in. And add in and say thank you to that teacher who gave the biggest compliment. Yes, Manisha, do you want to speak something? Do you want to say something? Yes, please go ahead. You may unmute yourself, please. Manisha Medirata. Oh, you could put it in the chat because yes, go ahead, please. We can't hear you, Miss. Manisha, we can't hear you.
Wait, ma'am. Now you can hear me, ma'am?
Yes, of course. Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. And I close my eyes. I would like to share that one name only. That's my mentor, Lena ma'am. She always motivate me. She always, I always remember her words when I entered in my school. She said, "Yes, ma'am. I know you can do it, and yes, I am there for you at any time you feel like." So I really admire her, and lots of love to her. And God bless, ma'am. Thank
Is this the same Lena we've been talking to?
Ma'am, Lena Dua, ma'am.
Okay. Perfect. So wonderful. And thank you so much, because it takes a lot of gratitude and willpower to thank a teacher. But it's amazing that years on end, and the first interview that you have with a special celebrity, and they all talk about the teacher that left a mark. So imagine you're not just leaving a mark today, it's for years to come. All right. So I want to talk about the domino effect. Now, it's a vicious cycle or a positive cycle. It can be one positive or one negative. It is how you want it to go. So if you start thinking, my boss doesn't like me, they nitpick me, that's the kind of a body language that you will go ahead with. And it is horrible, vicious cycle that it carries on playing like a ping pong. You say, "Bada samajhte hai apne aap ko," and the body language changes, and you are like, and the lady says, "Do this," and you're like, and the lady says, "I need you to put in this little effort, please," and you're like, "Look at that. She embarrassed me in front of my colleagues. She spoke in the corridor. She is so nasty," and it continues. Or you can just stop it right in the middle and say, maybe she's having a bad day. So let me see what I can do. Can I take it as a feedback? Can I just look at it and say, all right, maybe not today. Maybe tomorrow I shall voice it out to say, ma'am, is it possible that you can just call me into your room and let me know what all I can do? Or can I send you an email? Would you let me know that have I understood what you wanted me to do? I hope I'm not infringing on your privacy, but I really would appreciate you showing me the right way. I really appreciate you as a model. Just see the change. Put in that acknowledgement. What you want to hear, speak it out, please. And stop the domino effect. It can be the positive or the negative. It is up to you. Which cycle do you want to get into? So I'll go back and I'm going to be layering it one more time. Remember what's in your control, what's out of your control. Remember the why you came in. And what can I give instead? What's your vision board? And now we move on to recharge with gratitude. Now is the time you've done your one set of gratitude of thinking about this person who you feel is the person that you wished for. So which is the kind of teacher would you want to be? And can anybody decipher this crazy poem? What do you think this poem is all about? If you can, put it in the chat. So the poem says the crazy monkey. And what do you think this is? What do you think this is? And what do you think this is? Well, these are easy ones. And then he ran into a wall. The bear or the monkey jumped so high. And then what happened? That he could see the sky. Okay. 5 Little Monkeys poem. Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. So what's the kind of a teacher that you would want to be? The one who was fun, who used a lot of, well, humor and excitement? The one who listened to you, who motivated you, or gave you a lot of homework? Or do you remember her because she was very qualified? he or she. What was that? So that's your inspiration of being the teacher you have to be. Because with students, this is what they are aware of. Their self-awareness comes specifically from you at this moment. The compliments that they give themselves are the words that you speak to them. Their parents speak to them. The self-management comes in the goal setting that you do for them. You can always use the vision board at this moment. The social awareness is, who are you grateful for? It's not the popularity that matters to them. It is who acknowledges them. So can you be the cheerleader for that child? Can you be the person who says, not just put him away or her away and say, oh, that's the naughty one. Can you put in that effort? The relationship management is how useful you are in a group. What is your contribution? And the same way the child feels the same. It matters. The emotional quotient of you or the child is the same. So this one we've already done, which is the recharging of a gratitude. And I want you to see this little movie. And on top of that, post that, I am going to be asking you to have your questions ready, because
taking the time for gratitude is so important for our peace of mind and our happiness. And it's a great way to remind ourselves how lucky we are for what we have and who we have in our lives. Afterwards, we're going to share what we've drawn with the rest of the class. Let's begin. Wonderful, class. Now, who would like to come up first and share what you're grateful for?
Me.
Yes, Sarah, come on up.
I'm thankful for trees because they give me oxygen.
That's wonderful, Sarah. Thank you so much. Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Jason, come on up.
I drew my parents because without them I wouldn't even be here. And also they help me with my homework, and I love them. Chocolate. I'm grateful for chocolate.
Okay, Rebecca. Thank you. Simon, why don't you come up and share with the class what you're grateful for? Come on up, Simon. I'll be right up here with you. What are you grateful for, Simon? How would you like to play a game with your classmates to see who can guess whose hand you drew? Would you like that? All right, class. Can anyone guess whose hand Simon drew?
I think it's the hand of a policeman because they protect us and keep us safe. I think it's Simon's hand because he's grateful to have a hand. Is it the hand of God? It's your hand, Miss Sanders.
Okay. So why did I do all of these exercises with you? All of these exercises are part of a book that we are going to be launching. Now comes in the main thing. They are for students, but I am planning to write one for their teachers. So as of now, we have books which are ready for grade 5, 4, and 3. When are they going to be published? Well, Abhishek and Shefali would be able to give you that knowledge later. But for today, I'm going to show you one sneak peek into one of my pages because I wanted you to just like something that I have put in, well, I'd say years. Well, I won't say years. A lot of time into creating this book because I feel the next lot has to happen. Something where the change needs to happen, where every child needs to feel worth it, where every child feels who they are. You know, all of us are people who have been created by the compliments we got, by the words and the messages we received, and that, fortunately or unfortunately, made our self-worth. A child needs to have that self-worth much earlier because, like I said, personalities are created by age of 13 and 14. We need to catch them young. We need them to know who they are. What's the kindness required? Is there a relationship necessary? Is there something called safe and unsafe touch? Is there a reason for a special space bubble? Is there a reason that I should take every word gospel truth? Do I or can I make a decision? And if yes, then what are the strategies? Because today, in spite of us all being grown-ups, it was nice to have a few strategies worded with us. And on that note, I'm going to request Ms. Shefali to please share the Padlet, put in your feedback, and the pictures that you have drawn. Do not forget, please do not forget to write in your name and email, because how do we get in touch with the winner then? Any questions that you may have, please put it on so that I could answer you. And very soon we're going to be coming up with another webinar.
So what I am doing right now is I'm putting the link in the chat box. Everyone, please go to the chat box, click the link, and you get a Padlet. You have to fill up your feedback there, right? The link is already in the chat box. Go to the chat box and click the link. And please fill in your feedback for this happiness webinar.
And just in case you can't, okay, for just in case, whatever reason you cannot get onto the Padlet, we are open to you sending it to us on the chats here, because that helps me with the feedback. I believe every webinar gets better if you give us a feedback and you let me know what else would you want to know about. So I'm going to be putting up 2 options out and choose the next webinar that you would want. So I'm going to just show you those. So the webinar that you could choose from. Do you want to decode stress as a parent, like a work-life balance, or do you want Zoom classroom management? Whatever you want, we'll work on that. Do you want to be decoding stress, or do you want to be doing a classroom management? So I'm getting motivation and support in Zoom classroom. And thank you, Swati, for saying that. Work-life balance, okay. Interesting. We're going to go with the majority people, guys. Decoding stress. Thank you so much, Pooja. Oh, that is one of the sweetest message. You guys started with a smile and you got bigger ones now. Whoa, yeah, that is a compliment. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. We are waiting for the Padlets, but because you do remember, we're going to be having a winner. Who wants to meet me tomorrow? Mr. Farley, how will they meet me tomorrow and when can they meet me?
All right, so the winner would get a chance to meet Aarti, and don't forget to put your phone number and email ID. We'll contact you and send you the Zoom link for that. And Divyang, if you can allow the share screen, I can just show the audience how the Padlet looks and how they have to put in the feedback.
You can, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, with all those compliments. Thank you.
Wow. You already know this. Can you all see my screen here? Aarti, can you see this?
No, not yet, miss. I really can't.
Really?
No.
I will have to just stop sharing the share again.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm really touched with the kind of warm messages that you're sending me. Really makes my day.
Can you see it now?
I can't. Maybe it's only me who can't.
Oh, wait, let me just.
Thank you so much. It's very kind of you to put in so much of love. Thank you. So here it goes. Whoa, look at that. Oh my God, you guys have done it on your hand? Wow. They are very interesting indeed. Look at this. I'm so glad you guys liked it. I find this so interesting. I don't know who's done it on the hand, so if you could please leave your name there. And the one who's doodled in the book, Saloni. Guys, I don't know who's done it on the hand, so you'll have to tell me who has. Could you put that in the chat, please? Someone who's done it on the hand? Sunita Goyal, right? Is that the one who's done it on the hand? Sunita? Wow, guys. This is amazing. Smita Sham. Okay. Abhishek, would you like to please? Thank you, Beena. I'd love to. Shivani, that was a very sweet thing to say. Thank you. I love the hearts everywhere. My God. Okay. So I think we got our winners. Ms. Shafali, Abhishek, would you like to speak about this? May I stop sharing here? All right.
Right. I think, Aarti, we could, I mean, everything was very nice. Everyone had really posted so well and written such beautiful things. And I see people requesting to have more webinars like this. I'm sure Aarti's listening and hearing to that, actually.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we'll go with two winners. One would be Saloni Mathur and Smita Sham, I think. And you both of you get a chance to have interaction with Aarti. Please leave us your phone numbers there so that I think we can get in touch with you and we'll send you the link.
So you could send a private message to Ms. Shafali, please, with your phone numbers, the winners, along with your email address. And Ms. Shafali will get back to you and send the Zoom link to both of you. So guys, if you want a book on the teacher's well-being, then you let us know. And the second thing is the books for grade 3, 4, and 5 would soon be present. So Ms. Shafali, you'll be able to tell us when. Or if Mr. Abhishek is here then.
Mr. Abhishek would surely tell you about that.
G.
Abhishek, are you there? Anyways, thank you so much for the teaser, Aarti, because it was really nice, because even I've not got a chance to have a look at it.
So I know, I'm being very secretive about my books. Yeah. Believe me, guys, it's been like 14 years of hard work with children of all ages to put this book together. And it's just a fun book. Oh, Shipra, you made my day. You're my real gem. My God. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. So on that note, raise your hand, give yourself a big hug, because I can't come and give you all a hug today. So give yourself a big hug, squeeze yourself, like really, really, really squeeze yourself, and close your eyes and say the nicest compliments to yourself. All right, so are you ready? So here we go. I am gorgeous. I am handsome. I am beautiful inside and out. I am kind and I love me. I love me. Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Aarti. Let me thank you at least.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Aarti, for being here, because amidst of so much of trauma, so much of negativity around, this was one session which has really boosted us. And I think learning to be thankful and regularly expressing gratitude is an important part of personal happiness. And sometimes we forget. So I think Aarti keeps coming in and reminding us, ting tong, come on, guys. Think about your happiness, your inner happiness. And SAAR Education would also like to thank everyone, the audience that come every time whenever we do a webinar. Thank you for being with us here today. And we look forward to more and more sessions. And I'm sure SAAR is going to plan something really exciting for every one of you in store for you. So just be connected. And before I just end up, I would just write my number on the chat box so that I think that those two winners can personally send me a message. Otherwise, I'm going to get lost in that. So I am just putting on my number here before we close it, actually. So
yes.
It is.
And we could save the chat just in case they've sent it and we haven't been able to view it right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Please.
So here is my number. So just text me personally and arrange a session with Aarti tomorrow.
What time are we keeping it?
As discussed, 11, between 11 to 11:30.
So you guys, you got a 20 minutes private therapist at your disposal, guys. So go ahead and ask all those questions which you would want to ask. So, and you may always email us. Shefali, would you want to send in an email? Because just in case they were not winners,
sure.
They were wanting to ask me that question. I love answering back from emails. So I would revert back to you guys. Please do not shy. Just put in those things that you want to really ask me and I will get back to you. Soon I shall start with the YouTube where you can always ask me, do it on this and do that, because I feel it is so necessary. Each one of you has that little rainbow hidden in your heart. So with that love, thank you so much. Ms. Shefali, you save the chat, please. Thank you. You take care, guys. Bye.